Hi, I'm Bridges,
Hi, Bridges.
or Brit Soulé as Facebook says. Because Bridges McHotpants is no longer a viable thing to have as a name apparently. Facebook. That was MySpace days, I think, actually. Touching, please, touching.
Allie, Allie, have you seen Mark's mittens?
One moment.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Was it my date of baby?
She forgot the words.
No, I was asking if you're in charge.
Think so.
All right, I'm gonna go change a tire. I'll be back.
We didn't like summon you or anything.
Not yet.
Alright, I was gonna do the set list a little bit differently, but I think let's start off with something real cathartic. Something for Allie. She feels like stomping, she can. If you feel like stomping or clapping, you can.
I didn't bring my.
There's nothing like getting lost on your way to the truth. There's nothing like losing talk when the conversation's aimed at you. But oh, well, I'm trying to grow. You know it's so hard to let it go when you're standing in the shadows. I'll never learn to go back home with a shred of my pride. My dirty face, it'll never show how soft I really am inside. Oh, oh, but oh, oh, well, I'm trying to grow. You know it's so hard to let it go when you're standing in the shadows. There's nothing like seeing our demons when your mind is out of tune. Well, this year I lost my best friend. I hope that I can find myself soon. Because me, well, I'm trying to grow. You know it's so hard to let it go when you're standing in the shadows. get bored. You know it's pretty hard to reach glass ceilings when you don't mind sitting on a dirty floor. Oh, oh, well, oh, oh, we're all trying to grow. You know it's so hard to let go when you're standing in. We're all standing in the shadows. Well, come on out. The world's alright for now. Hold on to your heart and put your weapons down. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it.
Love that deep voice. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, thank you.
What
The
is the
space
word?
for you, it was just like,
I love the acoustics
Yes.
in here. I always start real close and I'm back against the wall playing like my voice is gonna explode something. I wonder where I put that bed. Who cares? I'll get a blister. Do it. Well, don't hold no grudge, no room to judge. Just open your arms and say that despite ourselves and stories we tell, it's our hearts that we betray. The truth is we don't even know ourselves. We're walking around with our love on a shelf. We're hiding our hearts and closing our minds. If we are all the same inside, why we leave ourselves behind? Well, at the bar she said she's pretty and pissed 'cause we left her there dripping in shame. The people walk past saying, damn, she's a mess. That damn whiskey come to him again. Well, he plays guitar and they think he's a star. All the glory and love is his. But when they all go home and that master sleeps alone, well, he drinks to forget who he is. Oh no. Well, the truth is we don't even know ourselves. We're walking around with our love on a shelf. We're hardening our hearts and closing our minds. If we are all the same inside, why do we leave ourselves behind? There's a man in frozen hills who feels the wake up and real She said, oh, she's bitter and mad at the world that she once held dear. Her gardens have grown, you know, those kids, they've all gone, and each memory just adds to her tears. Oh, oh, oh. But the truth is we don't even know ourselves. We're walking around with our love on shelf. We're hardening our hearts, so yeah, we're closing our minds. If we are all the same inside, why do we leave ourselves behind? Well, put down your pride. You've got nothing to hide. Faulted, we all wear a mask, but in your own hell you poison the well. You know that guilt is gonna turn your heart back. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Some say Yahweh, some say Jehovah, but the written name of God, the Tetragrammaton, is unpronounceable. Moving through us, closer than our own jugular vein, God remains untouchable. Jesus, Word made flesh, our living sacrifice sufficient, speaks to his creation. A demon speaks to hunger. A prophet speaks to God. A sage speaks to the ages. A soothsayer speaks to the future. A medium speaks to the dead. A magi speaks to the elements. A vizier speaks to kings, and a fool speaks to any and everyone who will listen. A poet speaks to the soul. All right, thank you guys. Let's take a minute, look around. This is the majesty of life at last. I am the bull, the milk to honey, that Egyptian moon, civilization strong back. I am the golden calf fatted for slaughter, the muscle, sinew, pulsing blood and semen of the bull, the bull's punishing horns and hurricane horse. I am the hot breath of the bull. I am the bull's dung. I am the bull jumper, the man who runs with the bull, the gaucho, the rider thrown by the bull, and we all get thrown. I am the clown who saves the rider. I am Theseus, the fulcrum that slays the bull. I am the village that eats the bull. I see red. I get back. Up. I am the bull. Accept my sacrifice. This is a poem. I don't know, how many of you guys have children in this room? I had a conversation with an old friend of mine. He's an old poet. He's a professor at Kent State when I was going there. And when I had my son, we were talking, and he's into like really deeply into spirituality. And he was like, well, you're part of this continuum now. I know it feels like strange, but it's like, you know, something about you definitely changes. And I was writing this poem while we were expecting my child, and the weirdest thing happened. Like, it's not weird. It's so, I mean, people get born and people die like all the time, right? But until you're there, it's just, you know, you're not really, you're tangentially, you know, connected to it. And we had to take they had to take dad classes now, if you're expecting, right? So, I mean, you guys know about that at all. We go into this hallway on the university hospital system campus in Cleveland, and we go into this lecture area, and we're all standing there looking at this big box of like birthing devices, you know, like little suction tools and like weird, like, you know, like weird. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh my God, these are supposed to touch a woman some kind of way, right? I'm just like, and then the guy who's supposed to give us our class is like, oh, don't look at those. You're never gonna use those. We have like all this modern stuff now, right? So we're all just like, oh, we go to this class and just file that away in the back of your mind. Well, my son decided to come early because his mother was like playing this game, like she was trying to keep him. She didn't want to have a premature birth, but she had all the signs. And so the doctor was sitting there the whole time. You know, she had an appointment elsewhere. They had already picked out when the child was going to be born and everything, but she wasn't in town. There was this old doctor working with her, and I don't know, this guy easily was like 20 years older than the doctor that we had. So we just have to get to the hospital because this baby's coming. We get there and there's all these like, I don't know if they're interns or whatever, but they'd never like given birth before. They were young doctors. There's probably like 6 of them in the room, and they can't do a damn thing because they don't know. None of them knows what they're doing. There's just this old doctor there. He knows exactly what to do, and he grabs one of those devices that like we were never supposed to use. And there, you know, I got invited into the room and my son comes out and I realize like, this guy knows my voice because I've been reading to him the whole time. So he just looks at, I mean, it was incredible, but it happens all the time, right? So this is the poem that I read to him, the last thing I read to him before he was born. And it's called Clots of Blood. We cry and taste the sea. Everything that we are from what we used to be. Lazy frogs dream tadpole dreams, astronauts in timeless sea. Some, our voices cross your waters like the creator over this universe, bringing you in through us to this bloodless egg, the earth. We've crossed this Rubicon as illegals, runaways, waiting for you in dark places in light. Your parents are as Orpheus and Lot's wife, had they had faith. The child makes the parent, and no one calls us green. They sip the wine of our joy, a vine ripened with you. Humbled like Kunta Kinte, we are survived by you, and are as lions with our pride. Not shameless dogs who know not their own, you were not sprung from lust like King Arthur, hatred like Mordred, or vengeance like Horus. Surely you arrive anointed as a veil-born child, for you are love's fulfillment of itself. Let no one doubt the breadth, purity, depth, or gravity of our love for you, surrounding us, animating us, turning blood red from blue, indeed thicker than water. You were loved as a cactus loves rain, as water its own level, as moon romances tides. God willing will shelter you as stones shelter their own blood, or the overseeing moon, or the nurturing sun, and in time, the distant stars of which you shall dream. For love is full of nothing, if not hope. Pity King Hercules, though enshrined amongst the stars, we pray for us the gift that he was not given, for he outlived his own children. These blessings we pray for you, an old man's strength, an old woman's faith, and always grace. An overwatered plant withers, and you are an apple from a tree, generations deep. May you fall just far enough to grow into your own. Brave Achilles had his mother known only to let go a little more. Would he have so tragically died? Moses' mother's faith at last set his people along freedom's tide. Like Daedalus' gift to Icarus, we offer wings of the mind and pray the Creator gives you wings of the soul and victory in either ether. For no sword could you inherit more penetrating than the lessons of the prophets. Be a man of understanding, but not so experienced that you find no flavor in seas of salt. For who best knows blood? A butcher, a soldier, a doctor, or a mother? Know that in this gambler's house, this glass blower's palace of time, history is written in stone. Destiny is written in the stars. And there is a master with a plan which surpasses all understanding of man, who brought us forth from earth and mud and formed us out of clots of blood. Thank you. So I promised another poll to read tonight at 7, and here I am coming in late, and I'm just glad to see that you opened up to everybody here. But we're ready for you to read now.
All right. Hi, I'm Riley. I've never done anything like this before, so
I'm glad to have you, Riley.
have grace on me. Yeah. All right. 7 unfinished poems about a broken heart. I'm not really good at writing. I just enjoy documenting heartbreak and love and hurt and pain and that feeling you get when he walks into the room with your food, the waiter, that is. I find I write most about boys, the way they feel and smell and exist, because 96% of the time I can't tell them how I actually can't resist, because that'd be the end of that friendship. Been there, done that 100 times before, so I'm always left here wondering why I always crave for more. I tell myself it's because I'm picky. But in reality, the guys I fall for are either gay or taken or across the sea. I'm literally left here pouting with a cup of Earl Grey tea. Only guys interested are the guys that want to screw me. The only guys who notice me are the guys who ask me what I do for 20. And so here lies 7 unfinished poems about a broken heart. This one's for all the boys who create abstract art, who have left me hidden in the dark, throwing in the garbage with all your broken parts. I'm sorry I wasn't good enough for you, and smart enough, and challenging enough, and creative enough. I'm aware that I'm a little bit strange too. Made me think my thoughts were too blue when they should have been bright red, but no one told me I was colorblind. No one told me that I was in this line of doubt that I couldn't even see, that I couldn't even believe. Breathe. All my poems became the same. Him, beginning, middle, end. Like, love, pain, I'd rather be hit by a moving train than go through this again. I don't want you to copy and paste. Let me cut and throw it to the back of my brain. Let me forget you. You're worse than an ad campaign. You're worse than for watching the sunset on your roof in the middle of July, right before telling me everything was just a lie. I refuse to learn new words with the fear of them being lies too, for I never thought this through. I don't want to love again, but I do, just not to you. And here's to the boys who I haven't told. If you're wondering if it's about you, you're probably right. Who I've spent hours craving for your attention, wanting your touch, feeling so empty and bare, and needing you there, but you aren't. I wonder if you feel this way too, but see, some things are left better unsaid, and I'm too scared that this would turn into utter dread, and I'm already in love with you. So, enough said. I guess the real question is would you love me? I travel to the mirror hanging on my wall and wonder, what is it about me that the only affection I get is from a daily cat call? I second guess who I've become, all because a boy rejects me, all because he doesn't love me. I feel so small. If only I had long hair again, if only I was a size 2, if only I was normal looking, would you then love me too? And maybe this is all silly, and maybe this is untrue, but I've been told for so long that a man will give me value. So I will cover myself in self-pity, and I will cry myself to sleep, only to wonder who I am with one finished story.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Moving. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you. That's the first time you've read in front of an audience.
You did
Wow,
awesome.
you just
Thank
need
you.
a little more. That's just yeah. Wow. So Allie, are you ready? That's okay. How you guys doing? Good? Good. You got a chance to look around?
Yeah, and the one thing is, this space here is for you guys. The reason why we keep it open is that it gives people accessibility to the space. Equipment, walls, things like that. So if you guys have something you wanna do, come talk to me, talk to Al. You know, if you have an event, if you wanna do an educational thing, you know, if you wanna do spoken word, you wanna do poetry, if you wanna throw mud around, I don't care.
Hey,
The idea is to have a space for you guys.
Yeah, really, it's very sticky.
Maybe this will help me clean it up.
It's hard, you know? Cast a Bigfoot.
I'd like to say that this is a collection of things that my best friend Allie here has written over a long period of time. And just the other day we decided to make them,
well, these are like from
And
years ago, and then this into this. I am so tired of always being imprisoned by myself. Body, mind, and soul. Where is the key? Is there a skeleton one? Who has it? My screams are trying to escape and get it.
but I am the skeleton. I am the key. The prison is mine. Why can't I find a release?
My thoughts are always screams pointed directly at me.
Trapped in the mirror. Will she ever be free?
Just wanted to feel just a little joy. Natural joy. I need some right now.
But when nothing seems natural, I never know how.
I'm so tired of masks. They're everywhere you look. Everyone is wearing some. Not just one, including I. I don't even know what my true face is. Lost, most likely. With everyone else's. When you get a glimpse of someone's true face, it is like the beauty of a sunrise. Or the ugliness of an atom bomb. I keep ripping mine off in hopes to discover me.
So, we'll burn off our masks, and together, dig deep. Escape the pain wisely, not just while asleep. We'll find our true faces, pave over defeat. Through grit we'll grow, like grass through concrete.
Well, the quietest people have the loudest minds.
Chaotic amused, now amused, redefined.
Alan tripped over the pipe in the gallery.
I have to kill them.
I'm gonna save this guy for a little bit.
Anyone else?
Everybody, this is Richard Culberson. He's a great writer. What? Dude, good.
You gotta give me a pseudonym.
I sit on them. You gotta give me a pseudonym. This guy's a great writer. I'm not gonna tell you about his poems at all because he's one of the more balanced writers that I know. What? Okay. You never know what this guy's gonna say. Let's put it that way. I just want to say that was beautiful. 'Cause I didn't know what you guys were gonna do, but you guys are. I know you're great personal friends, but you guys also had a lot of chemistry too, and I appreciate it. A yellow sun arcs across infrared and ultraviolet. Teach me a rain dance. Oh, reveal a hoop of many hoops to rain across the web of all life's intentions. How pure is this white light, pregnant with so much color? How much meaning from its absence? The values we place on colors reflect our own as we are only human. Taking every compliment, all the shades of brown, our monochromatic worlds are only proof of crude designers. The world is a complex one, and we give each other intensity. Why is it feminine to know the names of all the colors? What color is electricity? What color is the chemistry between a man and a woman? Friendship, family, and what color do we all bleed? The rainbow is only part of a circle too big to be seen. Its center is love drawing us together. Our attraction across races, the beauty of a child, we are only as bold as our love, and all children seek the same thing, attention. I also feel at times as if people are talking about me if I cannot understand their language, and every so often they are. But our tongues are palettes of possibility. We can grow in understanding, but just type in stereo. I am not mixed, I'm a remix. My border is yours is mine, and ours is theirs, and we are a self-fulfilling prophecy of exclusion. We are the cause, and the mirror effect is race biology, culture, nationality. Race is man's invention. It need not be destiny. History matters because it's what brought us where we are today. However, we build one future together. Some build towers of arrogance inspired only by promises of gold at the rainbow's end. Others build arcs of compassion out of sheer awe. We share one creator, but the most segregated time in America is still 11 a.m. Sunday morning. The future is built of opponent, color, and geometry, its shape and complexion yet to be determined, so I don't believe in race, though it sure believes in me. So this is my vow. Race is an illusion, but racism still exists. I respect diversity I will never understand because I'll never know, because I'll never ask. Because I won't let them show. Hey, thank you guys.
Thank you.
It is Punk Rock the Block. There's a location. Right here. So we still need a weapon and we still need a person. But we have this great guy here, Mr. Lynn Johnson, if you could get ready and work with us a little bit here. This is the guy, Lynn Johnson is the guy who has this organization called the Mirror Masala. He brought the drumming ensemble downtown last summer. So I also worked with him at the Calamari show that I did recently. And I know this is a smaller place or whatever, but you know, I don't know if you guys are expecting to hear drumming at all, but you're gonna hear something tonight.
I wasn't kind of expecting this. I was at home cooking in my cooking shirt.
I'm glad you came out. Get started a little bit. I'll pick it on both these pieces. How are you guys doing? After this piece, after he plays a little bit, and I do a little poetry again. If you guys want to go to the restroom or walk around some more, look at the pieces, you're more than welcome to do that for a minute. We'll just take a little intermission. But Mr. Johnson, if you could just show them a little bit about what you're about.
I said right now, I was about at home cooking. You have my cooking, so you see some little specks on it and stuff.
That's all right.
Yeah, coming down.
You a bad man. You a bad man.
That's okay. We'll see what happens.
Wouldn't bring you here if I didn't know that.
And
close enough to touch the sun. What if I dial the sun back? Touch the grains I go against. The sand cuts to the quick of my fingertips, slipping through cracks in my hand. I never planned to be empty-handed. When I drew this line in the sand, the shape of lazy aches, I watch timepieces like dimes with figures. My mouth delivers rivers, time kill, ink spill, and irreversible broken dishes. I measure wisdom with experience, buried treasures, just deserts and deserts, countless castles on the shores of time for what it's worth. Now, how can a drowned man come around and grandstand? Name it better than nouns can. Thou sand, thou sand, thou sand. You are the thorn in my side, the stone in my sandal. I burn candles at both ends, driven in wind, crystalline. Talking clocks tick while watch pots are whistling. My only nights be the wings on these feet, till these deities defeat me like Achilles. That day I too shall bite the dust. The crust in my eyes, Sandman sleeping, seeping, counting wolves in sheep's clothing. Please bring me dreams, he sends omens. Next time we pour out a little liquid, pray to stop the flow. 1,000 drops of wet stone, blood is thicker. Why must we come to blows? Those in glass of bowls throw stones at these homeless poems. Plenty pray for privacy, those silicone clones, unknown unknowns. No man is an island. I walk like Nubians, Egyptians, veterans, scriptures, less veterans, forget again. Now, how can a drowned man come around and grandstand? Name it better than nouns can. Thou sand, thou sand, thou sand. So let's just take a break now. If you need to use the restroom, if you want to look around at the pieces some more, there are some people here that have some poems and have a need to read, so when we come back, we'll do an open mic. Again, if you have anything that you want to do, let's just take a 10-minute break here. If you want to check whatever you got to do. And I am kind of beside myself. I probably did something pretty dumb, but I have 2 notebooks I'm looking for. They're 2 leather-clad short notebooks. They're about this big. I have brain farts like anyone else.
Over here.
Oh, there's one. There you go. There's 2 more.
Over here.
Thank you. Okay.
I saw them get moved to a
I
different
appreciate
location.
it.
I don't know where they were though.
What are they worth on eBay?
Well, hopefully if I get my book, I'll publish in the next 6 months or so.
How you doing?
Well, you guys get something to drink, use the restroom, and then we'll have
Oh, since you two are here. Okay. I don't get my schedule tomorrow, but are you either of you free Saturday?
Which one's the name you're talking about?
What's that?
Sure, why not?
If she wants to do something, but you're gonna get your shine.
Oh, you,
Towards the end of our little.
him or me?
Did you bring something to them? Well, obviously you have a lot to say, and the fact that you're observant means you have a lot to, to say and express.
No, my mind's
No.
blank. I don't know what to
I
say.
don't even care. Listen. I don't even care if it's dirty. What's that? So, hey, right, so, Mr. Johnson, he could like a little rhythm behind his piece, too.
Do some whipping.
Are we good? All right. So, usually I do something that, because he's filming it, and Tom's not going to cut this. Tom promises he's not going to edit this footage, first of all. If he were, I would do what I normally do. Now, Tom, while I have you in front of these people, is there a small chance that you might edit this performance at all? He's not making any promises. Oh, a small chance. Okay, right. Well, there's a character that I have, and people who see me do poetry before are well familiar with this character. And I don't like it being put. I just want people to only know about it when they're in a live setting with me. So I meditate a lot. And in my journeys, I come across spirits. I am not responsible for the messages that they deliver to me in any way, because, if you're possessed, who can really say what's going to come out? But I want to bring this character to you, but you have to help me. And the only way for you to help me is if you say one word. It's the same word, you say it 3 times. It's very simple. I need you to say baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Now his name is Baby Dionysus, so I need you to say it a little bit louder. So help me one more time. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby. Hello, everybody. Hello, Magic Box. It is I, Baby Dionysus, and I've come to tell you a wonderful tale about 2 tales, the elephant and the donkey. This piece is called The Elephant in the Room. The elephant and the donkey decided to play a toast at the quick spot together at a local cafe. A crowd then gathered, including myself, as the 2 majestic animals drank to one another's health. Well, donkey, you listen to everyone and you're brave, pronounced the pachyderm. Oh, elephant, you're strong-willed and dignified, replied the jackass right back at him. But just then I couldn't hold my tongue. I did not like the way this had all begun. Dignified, I shouted. Why, you're way too kind, Mr. Mule. But the elephant thinks Midas invented the golden rule. Elephant took down old Glory while whistling Dixie and made $1 million bill of himself, and on the back printed, "Did you miss me?" Elephant swore to the Pope that he'd even broke the Pontiff's sister, and then he spun around in a circle while shouting Heil Hitler. Elephant observes no morality and makes his own rules. He's even caused the Queen of England to clutch her crown jewels. He felt up Lady Liberty once while he was feeling funky and rejected the poor that he declared came from shithole countries. Once he refused to pay a prostitute with his own money, and just like he showed her exactly what a jerk is, he turned the White House into a 3-ring circus. Yes, many say elephant is just no good, and all the while the bear tells elephant exactly where to crack in the woods. Elephant dodged the draft and then gave away the country's plans before they'd hatched, and told the bald eagle his own heroes had never been captured. He cursed the dragon off in the far, far east, but left North Korea not knowing that he'd been fleeced. He mocked a handicapped man in everyone's face and offered every soul of every race. He's cursed Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, and watched them drown, Arabs and Jews just to hear the sound, Indians and blacks of all characters and persuasions, and stole land from the native reservations, and even stopped Canadians from bringing home their bacon. And then he disrespected Aretha Franklin, thus giving new meaning to the word Caucasian. Then Elephant got offended and started up in a huff, but Donkey decided he'd already had enough. Donkey tried to be classy, he tried to be cool, and I reminded him that Elephant had just made him look a fool. The jackass came to his senses and then searching his soul. He moaned, "Baby D, since you've put it so, I'd much rather be a whole ass than just such an asshole."
Yeah.
Okay, so, what is your name before we bring you up here, please?
I'm Amy.
Amy?
Yes.
Great to see you. I'm so glad you came here and
you.
brought your ensemble.
Thank you very much.
Please, if you could, Lynn can accompany you if you wish.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
He's
A
game.
little drama to it. My poems are short, so I'm just going to do a couple. This one is called Scars. You ask me why I cover my scars, because the blood in the battle are mine and not ours. I will shield and shroud the burden, take it to my grave, to keep your candle burning, to leave your heart unscathed. And in the dark tides, I drown the moments that soaked and stained my core, to cleanse and cast my demons, to meet you at the shore. Conquer. I am almond soap and pretty lips, facade and agreeable, melted to substandard. I am soft voice and fresh baked bread, beckoning your attention, collapsing to your requests and requisitions. I am your marionette, sunken cheeks and collarbone, small and insignificant. I am tear-stained pillows, black lines on Egyptian cotton, while you sleep unassuming to the war I fight within. I am black coffee and silent conversations to myself. I hide the truth to hide your darkness, beyond fresh-cut grass, beyond your new paved driveway, sub-level to your superiority. I am caged and waited. And the last one is one I wrote for Halloween. It's called Salem. In the wake of the dead and the time of the crone are ashes of offerings and that of beautiful bones. Waxy moon of Salem seals the endless cries of scorched begotten souls, reveal their grave demise. Dark memories haunt its hollows, dark secrets and dark tales. Legends of dark forests, dark silence beneath dark veils. Dark mysteries in dark cellars have opened up their doors. Souls of dark shortcomings will perish nevermore. Daughters born in silence carry forth their name. They spread their seeds in air and fire for earth its sacred flame.
Very good.
Thank you, Amy, for that wonderful elemental poetry. Anyone else here? Anyone else brought a poem or wants to sing a song before I let it loose to our friend, Riley? Come on. Yeah.
I haven't read this one in a really long time.
No, that's
so,
okay. You were great.
I don't remember it nearly, so yeah. I'm sorry, my dear, for starving you for 1,095 days. I'm sorry for hurting you and scarring you, for all the incidents and using you as a cutting board. I'm sorry for not giving you all the love you deserve, for putting boys and others before yourself. I'm sorry for not caring about your happiness and putting you last. I'm sorry for comparing you to the models and people I was jealous of. I'm sorry for being angry with you for gaining a few pounds every so often. I'm sorry for telling you to die and to never wake up. I'm sorry for not loving you. I'm sorry for now I see that you're just trying to grow and to live without being screamed at. I can't believe I let it get so far. It wasn't fair. You never did anything, and all I did was hate you. I can't believe I hated you. For you have been hurt for way too long, and I refuse to let anyone, including myself, treat you that way again. I won't allow it. You deserve to be loved, to grow, and to be who you are. Please don't let me change you. Please don't let anyone ever change you. You are exactly who you are for a reason, and I will never hate you again, I promise. I promise, and I don't break promises.
So, Britt, did you have anything else you wanted to read?
Yes. It's very short. And it's not mine. It's actually a piece that I memorized from high school from a very, very intelligent and struggling person. But I hope you can relate. Slowly does my sanity slip. Stop, not do I it. With nervous glances, half-muttered theories, I sit in my trances. Don't come near me. I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore you're not. You are a sham, thus I leave you to rot. So I do don my hat on days like this one. It's no fun, but you're like all the rest, with brains uncaressed, with the nectar of sweet insanity's love.
Good enough time to let this man loose and do what he does. It's wild and unchained.
Come on, Reverend.
Oh, wow, okay. Richard Culbertson, what more can I say? This guy, my son's name is Rumi. Like, I'm a writer, you know, and I love I love studying about different religions and things like that. He actually, the reason why I call him a balanced poet is because he writes about ecstasy the way that, the way that Hafiz and these other poets do. But he does this wonderful thing where he writes very wonderful and moving spiritual poetry and asks spiritual questions in the midst of his questionable state. I mean, I'm not as bold to write the way that he does in such an open way, but his poetry is beautiful, and he doesn't know that. But I always say it every time I get a chance. There's literally no telling what's going to come out of his mouth, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, sure, I'll try to get something. What was I gonna say? You know, this one here that I'm gonna read about, this one's about like for your hair, for your eyelashes, you know, for your beard. There's something that I envy or I die for in you, whatever that would be. I die to have that, you know, like in an expression, in a way in which I want that, or I would give myself to doing that. And that's where this one came. And usually, it's like when the first word comes, the rest seems to come. It comes. And then all it needs is a little change. And then this one just was like a couple of days ago. It starts. I'd die for you if I could go to heaven and be in your presence. No more suffering and one less bullet in a man's chest. If it was a good cause and made a lasting effect. I'd die for soldiers when wars didn't leave orphans. I'd die for sins, but they make good lessons. I'd die for a girlfriend, except chances are someone's already shagged her. I'd die for gold on some Spanish galleon, other than Pizarro stolen. I'd die for love I never won, if it meant splitting mega millions. I'd die for a poem, if no one read it, after a letter of rejection. I'd die for a date to the Philharmonic, as long as we're melodic. I'd die for fame, if I had some way people could remember my name. I'd die for a chance to try it all again, with a new family of origin that had no problems. And here's where it gets a little different. I'd die for a look at a naked woman in a raincoat, long hair draping. I could stuff into a sandwich, peer into on Facebook, and chew on like licorice. I'd die for dreams and visions I rarely receive as an old man, on a daily regimen of vitamins, who wishes a younger woman might want the experience from seeing a missing tooth in my smile. I'd die to find a pseudonym, make me bold at the might, as though I was unidentifiable, which at the max could only have 2 syllables and no middle initial, typically outside normal margins. I'd die for a piece of rope to see how far I could stumble, whether or not it needed shortened. A gun or bottle okay, depending on how long I'd like to stretch this current reality of suffering, or treat it simply as a placebo. I'd die to go to the underworld, sailing on a yacht to the river of the damned, with 12 virgins, to query the angel of death about my next life, what I did wrong or right, and whether or not to marry. Let's read the second one. It was made the same night. It must have been, I think what happened, and I don't know about you, but I think what happened when my mother died. I was in a heap of mess, right? And I think she went to the other world and got together with an angel. And they wanted to help me. So they got together and they sent me this. But that's my explanation. I don't know if it's wrong with me. I made that up. Now this in here is about, it's Halloween. It's not just in that sense. I changed that one about love, and not even being about women. It's about loving what you're doing. And this is the same way about Halloween. I believe in ghosts and hauntings, things which have no silver lining, a path worth nothing, once more exciting. Ghosts of women clad in black, swiveling on a bar stool, whose memories at holidays still speak at night. Another cranberry and vodka. Don't let me rest. I choose the mask to covering emotions, which have me feeling ambivalent. Lies I believe will heal the loneliness until an exorcism. Ghosts of jobs lost, car wrecks of relationships, of drugs and money thrown out the window, which hinder a good night's sleeping. Ghosts that leave me feeling remorseful and irresponsible, that accompany me like an unread resume, until the remembrance of when I lost the advantage. House keys were stolen, drugs cost me a positive, and sex was only money in their pockets. Ghosts that suddenly I become aware as being unwanted guests are only as infectious as I let them. I needed no medium, just a determination to be totally selfish and the belief in the possibility for an expungement of my feelings, marked for deletion. Thank you for letting me go.
Anybody else with anything to read? Any observations, statements? This is all being recorded and will be used against you in court of law. Wow. So, is this room full of artists right now?
Yeah.
Is it? Pretty much. So if I could go around the room and ask people what is their preferred art form. Obviously not everyone considers himself a poet or necessarily a performance artist, but if you could just tell them, and obviously I'm a poet. I do some other things. This man writes wonderful poetry. As I said earlier, you've seen Britt play. I consider him a poet. And that's why we're able to work on stuff. And Tom back there, he's a poet, but he's a filmographer too, and a filmmaker and everything else, visual representation. I love what he does. You see me work with these two. My work with these two gentlemen is available online. Lynn Johnson obviously does his music, his drumming. Would anyone else here care to describe themselves and what they do, if they could be defined by one particular art form? I'll start here.
My name's Ron. I do all kinds of visual arts, basically, like almost any medium, different styles, whatever. I honestly, shortest answer is that.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so you two gentlemen in the front here.
I play ukulele.
You play good. All right, good.
I used to play bass.
Now you used to play bass. You play ukulele. Do you have to be drunk to play ukulele? You just do it spontaneously. That's awesome.
I used to, I've always wanted to play guitar, and ukulele is really easy, and so I got into ukulele, just like spur of the moment type thing, and I was obsessed with it, and then I got into guitar after that.
Okay, but you can still break out the,
Yeah.
right? Now, can you play Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
Oh, wow.
I've attempted it, but it's like, I don't think I'm good enough.
Oh, that's all right. A good time. And you, sir, what are you besides a comedian?
I am also a musician. I make music and stuff like that. I also play a little bit of the bass as well, piano, a little bit of the ukulele. She taught me a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, all that stuff. It's usually, I do photography as well. I mean, I guess that's not fun.
This is a renaissance man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so I'm gonna let you slide because you performed twice for me. But if you play it,
I don't consider myself a poet, but I really enjoy photography. Like that's like my main hobby. Like that's what I want to pursue as a career. But I also enjoy poetry. So.
Good. And so we have a musician to your right, playing the ukulele at least. And what else? Sorry.
So I picked up ukulele first, and then I ended up learning how to play guitar. I really like to sing. I'm still messing around with that. But I think my biggest art form is, kind of sounds cheesy, but learning how to wake up every single day and just going about my day, and like how my mind, like, I don't know, I've just been kind of like learning more about myself and like my heart and my mind, my spirit, my soul, and like how it all connects. So I don't know. I feel like that's a bunch of art for me. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're practicing being intentional
Yeah.
in your life. Good. Now, you sir, whose name I have. Please introduce yourself.
My name's Dan. I've played in bands around town. Played bass and guitar, several bands. Still playing.
Okay, good. Yeah, we got something here. You know, we don't have enough instruments to accommodate everybody. We're doing pretty good. And Ann, besides poetry, what do you do?
Mostly poetry. I'm a nurse, so I
Okay.
go through your lane.
Good.
All those
Yeah.
things.
Okay. And secret subtle friend of his, whose name I do not know.
Kaylin.
Caleb, great. Introduction.
I'm a potter and very occasionally a printmaker.
Wow. So have you ever, I'm going to ask you the question everyone wants to ask you. Have you ever attempted to recreate that scene
Ghost
Ghost?
Story?
Yes.
I'll
No.
never admit to it.
I couldn't have been the only person wondering on stage. And you, my friend.
I'm with her. I'm the Elliot said, it's called me Elliot. I play bass in 2 bands. Him and I made it together along here
Great.
locally.
Great. Okay, and I think I have an artist in the very back of the room there, my friend. Now, I should know your name, but I'm horrible, so.
I'm Dan.
Dan, great. And your medium?
I guess lately I'm mostly a painter.
Oh, okay.
I'm mostly a painter, but I've been a printmaker. I love screen printing. I don't do it, but I love it. I like making stuff.
Good.
It doesn't have to be art. I
Right.
just like making stuff.
Right. Okay, so.
Interpretive dancer.
That's a long time ago. That's a long time ago.
So we all have something in common here. We have our art, and I don't know about you, but I find art as a way to take my thoughts and my feelings and my experiences and try to get them in some form to be shared with other people. And that's probably the closest we're going to ever have to telepathy, right? And among other things. I mean, I do consider art to be a spiritual practice. Everybody doesn't meditate in a direct way. And there's all types of spiritual practices. But art is an essentially human thing. In fact, what is it? It's the Cambrian explosion. Is when they say people started going from doing the red ochre hand painting things to actually like making, material objects. There's this whole theory about what art means, representative art means as far as being a human and our development as a species. And I think there's a lot of truth to those things. I think one of the horrible things about art can be a mechanical process where we take material objects and make material objects that are meant to cage people in, to the extent that many of our schools across the country are designed by people who make prisons, right? So there's art being used in a constructive way, and then there's art being used in a way that cages the soul in more than just one way. So I think as we're here in a space like this, I think it's important to recognize the power of art and what has brought us together here. So I'm going to do a piece. I did it before, and I don't know if my voice is up to it right now, but I want to share this. I've seen an old man die, and it hurt me to my soul. Why? I've heard my children cry too many times. Oh, No, I ain't going to write you from prison anymore. Oh, some of us in the system would do anything to be free, but you tell me that you don't know where you're going, and that's a little hard for me to believe. I've forgotten how long I've been standing here, knocking on your door. You really opened your heart to the city, right up on the banks of this river called love, and I ain't going to write you from prison anymore. Here we go around this corner, I'm writing this down for you. Even though I haven't changed, man, I'm still the same man, knocking on your door. I'm not going to write you from prison anymore. Here we go around this corner, I'm writing this down for you. Even though I haven't changed, man, I'm still the same man, standing in your corner. I'm not going to write you from prison anymore. Oh, no, 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 no. Anymore. Oh, let's go back to the old we. You're the same girl I've always adored, and I'm not going to write you from prison anymore. Thank you, guys. Great. Do you think, I'm just making Lynn work and work and work. Do you think you could play us another song?
I can. I just hope I can keep time.
Play a song.
And we already have the blister. It's 30 bucks, so we're crazy now. Watch out, first row. Strap. The Japan. Jeez, you told people, right? I don't need that thing. Hi, Margot. I thought your name was Front Door a minute ago. Oh. Need to find that pick. Anybody have a pick on him? No. Mine ran away.
Are you the scary one?
All right.
Oh, look at that.
I usually have two. I have to read. I have like
The final reveal. This man has been sitting with a pick this whole time. And you say there's no such thing as magic. How about that?
Did he win Clue?
What's that?
Did he win Clue?
Oh, there's a secret to clues, which they probably have all figured out already. Right?
All right. You don't know how you come to me, and you can't hear what I'm saying. Let me get these chords right, excuse me. There we go. You don't know how you come to me, and you can't hear what I'm saying. Why gave you that? That's my fault, honey. I'll just keep on playing. But I'm just here to entertain, or so they tell me so. Well, this music is my gospel, each word my faithful soul. But if you ever heard the truth through all the songs I've played you, take this next step to your heart, go get what I have said. Go, go, learn
Look, Allie, you gave me a dollar.
Oh, wow. So, hey, Lynn, thank you for coming out. You've done. I really, really strongly, yeah. Thank you very much, man. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm glad this came together is honestly, it was Brad Ford's initial idea. And just coming here, I haven't lived here my whole life or anything. I've been here for 6 years now, which should be long enough. But this whole experience, it teaches me one thing, and that's, you know, to trust people a little bit more. Because he came to me with the idea. I wasn't like, you know, come here. But I want to admit to you guys something. I mean, the wonderful thing about magic, it's not really about anything that the person is doing. It's that the audience believes. And so all I wanted you guys to do was to talk to each other. I'd create little minglers and things like that. And I didn't know that, you know, you guys would actually apply your minds to this. And I've learned something here. Because, you know, I can keep giving you hints or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, I gave away the game. So there, you know, I can tell you, you know, who it is, right? But the mechanism for you guys to figure out is kind of, you know, it was kind of defeated. Because I didn't know that I would get this wonderful result. So if you want me to tell you the other two elements here, I'll tell it to you. But there's no way for you guys to figure it out the way that it was set up. Because in the last moment, what I actually did was I said, well, man, these people aren't going to open up to each other, and, you know, but you did. I found out that you had a secret friend over here, and that, you know, and your group was able to talk, and you guys did your exploring everything, right? So, so the one I've been picking on this whole time, I'm sorry. So, Colonel Mustard, if you could please get up and go get the noose over there. You were a wonderful Colonel Mustard. And I appreciate, thank you, the slow reveal of your character and participating here. And I will never underestimate my audience again. I had fun. Did you guys enjoy yourselves tonight? This is a wonderful place, and I believe Brad would like to say he'd love to welcome you guys back. And hopefully we get an opportunity to do this again and celebrate this wonderful space and art in general in Erie here. So, I mean, I really appreciate it. I learned a lot and I had fun being responsible for this madness. And I certainly, I will take your suggestion and offer this in the future here. So I'm going to close with a poem that I haven't done for a while, but I think this is the first poem I did in an area where people said, okay, this is a poem, and we like it, which I wasn't expecting. For a while, people were saying what I do isn't poetry. But I've lived in a lot of places, and people kind of have their own cultures, and I think Erie might take a while to warm up to you, but and that's one of the reasons why I'm so pleased about your experience here and just being welcomed by Allie. Allie's a very welcoming person. I don't even think she's intentional about it. I just think it's her character, you know? Especially, no one from Britt. Britt's like, that's my best friend. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're apparently best friends, right?
Best
so,
friend.
like, yeah. So, I mean, you know, I'm always like, I have one eye open on people, and, you know, she's a very trusting and open person and welcoming. So I'm just really glad you came out, and you performed wonderfully. And I screwed up your tape of your performance, but if we could go back in time and put it, you know. So I had a good time. I'm going to close with this poem, and I really appreciate you guys coming out. There are some melons over there. You know, I'm probably going to eat them if nobody else does because they're delicious. There's water there too if anybody else is thirsty. But we're wrapping up, so thank you. I'm so cool. I can't feel my legs and arms anymore. I'm so cool, I will deny you. See, I'm a killer too. I've held back lightning with my hand, become your hero. I hold a gun to your face and now I'm your God. Never is the high that you can't maintain, the cruel reward that becomes your pain. Never is a lie, an offense in hell, the craft that shows how you will sell. Never turns men to cannibals. Never is the rich white man who's robbed the world, yet calls the black man a criminal. Never is a language barrier that you won't cross. Never makes life smaller. It's your loss. Never are the ones who deserved to die until it's your turn. Never is a bridge that's burned. Never is drifting in space. Never is east meets west. Never is a test of memory. Never is a word that time forgets. Never meditates upon regrets. Never is the innocent put to death. Never is a prisoner who's dying. Never is when you give up without even trying. Never is a word that stretches past the horizon. In never, we are all just your dream. We have the need to fly, but no wings. Never is a sin that multiplies. Never is when children die. Never is a legacy of abuse, and never is an eye for an eye. Never is a sin that falls through generations. Never is a lonely God. Never is an idol of the truly blind, and never is a desert without a star to guide you by. Never is a traveler who moves through time and destroys the reason he left it all. Never doesn't grow from experience. Never lives only by reflex. Never holds to prejudice. Never is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The hell created from a life of fear. Never is a truth that's a crime to say, a cruel charade that a face betrays. Never is the way that cowards hope to kill. Never is an act of will. Never is hate. Never is fear. Never is a heart of stone. Never is God's domain. Never is a religion. Never is always a decision, and never is forgiveness bad. Never once happened to mom and dad, and never is a prison guard who forgets that he's in prison too. Never fears its own shadow. Never is the end of a rainbow. Never is the end of the world. And the winds, so very strong, with no one to tame them. And the winds forever blowing with no one to claim them, and you're just a man. And time is an ocean, and time will make you older. Never are we guaranteed that it will make us wise. And the sun shines for everyone, not only those who want to see the sun rise. And you are only human. You're only human, and you're just a man. You're just a man. You're just a man, and I'm so cool.
That's good.